They said it. They said the thing. They said Bocchi the Rock. They finally said the title. Oh my gosh. I cannot express enough how much I absolutely love Bocchi the Rock. And honestly, as I've been enjoying it every single week, every episode that comes out, I really didn't feel like I wanted to make any videos on it because honestly, there's a lot of people out there covering the show and they're doing an incredible job of doing it. But I can't help it. After episode 8, I just can't help it. Honestly, episode 7 really pushed me as well, but I didn't get around to doing it. But honestly, Bocchi the Rock is a series that I believe that nobody should miss out on. It is a series that Cloverworks is doing an incredible job of producing, really nailing the aesthetic of each of the characters, and yes, embodying the emotions that Bocchi has in the most crazy, over-the-top, artistic ways possible. But honestly, underneath all that stuff is character developments that are really impressing me. It has a similar feel this season to me as something like Do It Yourself. This idea of really producing character chemistry and interactions that really develop the characters in their own unique way that ultimately, in the end, kind of bridges together in a very fantastic way. Yes, at its core, Hitori Goto, or Bocchi, is the one that's getting the most development. And we're seeing her as she progressively tries to build up some sort of courage, but then ultimately falls again. What's so incredible about this is that it is an introvert that is not just breaking out of their shell immediately. From the very beginning, you're getting this deep-rooted idea that, yes, Bocchi has some serious difficulties in breaking out of her shell. From the very beginning, she's terrified of speaking out. She's afraid of saying the wrong things. And this ultimately leads into her trying to find some method of breaking out of her shell. And yes, that vehicle is learning the guitar and getting into a band and being just like this one star she's seen that broke out of his state of introvert by joining a band. And so she practices and for years until she realizes nothing's changed. I got really good at guitar, but nothing has changed. And through her joining the band with Nijika, she's got an opportunity to break out of that shell. But again, every step she makes, every progress she makes, she immediately falls. And I like that. It's not a simple breakout and you're saved. Bocchi has to learn to get back up on her feet. And she does that time and time again. And yes, partly because the people around her are kind of casually lifting her back up. And the way that they're portraying that is absolutely fantastic. Well, you'll notice that a lot of the side characters, they're well animated. They do an incredible job of animating them and making them look natural. I keep pointing out this one scene with Nijika and Bocchi, and they're at this vending machine, and at some point, Nijika parts ways with her. And they have this really fantastic animation. It looks so natural and so real. But at the same time, despite the fact that every character is so well animated, what you'll notice is that everything with Bocchi is exaggerated. And again, they're doing an incredible job of making what she's feeling be artistically displayed in some over-the-top way. It gives you a sense of what she's feeling. Rather than having her describe what she's feeling constantly, you're getting a sense of it based on that animation. It looks crazy, it looks wild, it's over the top, and yes, it is that deep-rooted, unnerving feeling that she has. And again, every time it does something crazy, yes, sometimes it feels a little drug out sometimes, but at its core, it's making me feel what she's feeling. She's jittery, she's over the top, she's broken, and I love that. But again, while they're developing her and having her fall over and over again, and yes, having this really great pinnacle point in episode 7, and especially in episode 8, where you're starting to see progress. But again, progress with a stumble, which is good. It's good to see that stumble afterwards because she's not just fixed. This is a thing that's most likely going to torment her for years and years. You want to root for her and you want her to recover, but it's not that simple. Bocchi's going through a change, and it's a change that's uncomfortable and will be very difficult. And honestly, I would have been fine with that. But this writer isn't going to stay simple with that. The characters around them is where I'm seeing a lot of this fantastic growth as well, and especially through the sisters, Nijika and Seika. It felt like we were kind of getting a taste of it over time, especially with this whole tryout period they had to do. You knew deep down that Seika wanted the best for her sister. She didn't want to throw her on a stage and have her fail. So prove to me that you can do it. She was pushing her. She was pushing her real hard. And at the same time, still criticizing her because she wanted her to grow. And I think what's so fantastic is with episode 8, you're getting a broader sense of what's going on here. That Nijika knows something about Bocchi. She knows about Bocchi's past. And additionally, playing off this idea that Bocchi doesn't believe she's a hero. She doesn't believe that that title worked. That's something that her father gave her. So he suggested it. And so to play off of that, she's like, that's not me. That's never been me. I'm not a hero. But then you realize very quickly before even Bocchi realizes, no, you are a hero. You are Nijika's hero. Because the deeper story here is that she wanted to do something for her sister because her sister sacrificed so much for her. It's so, I got a little emotional in this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Because her sister broke off so much of what she wanted to do. She had dreams. She had this desire to grow and build up her own band, but she gave it up for her sister. And instead, she chose to build something for her sister and give a platform to her sister to build her career. She gave up everything and also nurtured her sister in effect. Her sister's a big tsundere. Her sister's a big tsundere. And we're seeing that Nijika has acknowledged it. She knows what's happened. And so she desires that one day she'll make that place big. Sister built it for me. I'm going to make sure that I live up to her expectations and make it a success. Let's build this together. I'm going to build this together with my sister. And in order to do that, I needed a hero. And Bocchi was the hero. Despite the fact that Bocchi believes that she doesn't have enough to give to her, despite the fact that Bocchi doesn't believe that she's good, she's incredible. And she was able to open up the doors for Nijika to do what she wanted to do for her sister. And that means everything to her. And it's just I don't know what's better. I don't know if episode 7 was better or this one. Because the episode 7 had a really incredible moment. It was really kind of Bocchi's first real appearance before people without being in a box. And I loved how they portrayed the idea that she only had enough energy to open one eye. It's all she could manage. Like she said something to the effect at the very end, like, I hope that she doesn't realize that I had only one eye open, because that's all she could pull off. That's all she could muster at the time. And that, again, transitions into the next episode when she has her first moment of actually standing on that stage and the courage to really push and show what she can do. What essentially happened in episode 8 is that Bocchi grabbed the pace. She knew that everybody was off. It felt like Kita was off. It felt like Nijika was slow. So what Bocchi did was she shook up the stage. She shook it up by just playing something crazy, this crazy guitar solo, and she basically picked up everybody and pushed them, gave them a pacing to go by, and it helped encourage them to do better. Yes, it's technically Bocchi still in the show. She legit, everybody acknowledged, dang, she's good. But in a sense, still, she managed to carry everybody. Despite the fact that she feels like she's the weakest, she was the one that carried everybody and picked them up and pushed them forward, and that was enough that they needed in order to actually have a success. And again, beautifully portrayed. Every time they're on the stage, the guitars and the playing and the motion, everything is just so beautifully done. I cannot say enough that Cloverworks has really delivered on this series. I've had a couple of slipping points with Cloverworks in the past, but this was definitely their A-team. They pulled this off, and they're doing an incredible job of the series overall. And I cannot suggest the series enough. If you're not on Bocchi the Rock yet, please go check it out. It is incredibly good. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Bocchi the Rock so far, episode 7 and episode 8 especially. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment. Let me know what you're thinking of Bocchi the Rock so far. Are you really enjoying it? Are you enjoying it as much as I am? Let me know. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. Greatly appreciate everybody it does, and y'all take care.